By making better decisions in your life and being in control of the problems that come and being a better problem solver, you start learning that there's levels to life. And if you want to understand how to get from one level of life to the next level of life, this video is just for you. This is Mr. Amen, and this is a Let Them Know Media production. And so I'm going to dive right on in with today's, conversation. And that is, there's levels to life. A lot of people like to say there's levels to this. I think y'all get the idea, right? So, there's levels to life, right? You would never go from one level of life to the next level of life until you mastered where you're at right in this moment. So if you've been sitting around complaining about, man, I'm supposed to be right here, I'm supposed to be there, I'm supposed to be doing this right now, I'm supposed to be doing that right now, whining and complaining, right? That means that you ain't graduated. That means that whatever it is that you're going through at the level of life that you at right now, you haven't mastered it, right? And mastery takes time. Understanding who you are in the level that you at right now really takes time to understand. And once you've mastered the level that you at, right, you start seeing things change, right? It's not a fast change. What it is it's a consistent change. Like every day you wake up, you start seeing your whole situation change. There's offers that's being made. Hey, I need you to come and do this and woo woo. And so next thing you know, you're signing contracts or you making deals or you creating a business and that business start thriving and it start happening really fast. At the drop of a dime, you start seeing your life change right before your eyes. And that's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. And one of the biggest things that I want y'all to understand about levels to life is the reason why it's key to understanding the levels is you have to not only master the level that you at, but you definitely have to understand everything that you put up with, everything that you had to do, all of the time that you spent, right? All the work that you did, all the not making excuses for yourself that you had to do, all the stepping up to the plate that you had to do. And you had to do that in order for you to go from the level of life that you at to the next level. I like to talk about Steve Jobs a lot when I make this example, right? That man started off in a garage. Those folks started off in a garage, but they all worked together for a commonality, and that was the dream that they had. And that's the type of resilience that I need all of y'all to have with all y'all's dreams, right? You got to be able to start in the garage. There's a lot of rappers. Like I remember when I was growing up, I heard Too Short and I think NWA and all of these different rappers. They were selling tapes out the back of their cars. And they became some of the pioneers in rap music and hip hop. And so in order for you to get from one level of life to the next, you have to master the level that you at right now. There's unforeseen advantages that you won't take advantage of. There's vantage points that you won't even understand the angles of if you don't go through the process. You have to trust the process. For the past 10 years, I've been seeing a lot of progress with myself that I never even thought that or could imagine that I would have, right? So 10 years ago, I was really at the bottom of wherever I could be at in life, right? I had got real skinny, and it wasn't because, I just didn't eat that much. I was almost homeless, and it was really hard for me at that time. And then, like the following year, 2016, I ended up leaving the little lodge that I was staying in because it was so difficult for me in that process that I ended up going to a homeless shelter. And from being in that homeless shelter, I was there for like 7 to 8 weeks. And being in that shelter was one of the most life-changing events that I've went through, right? I was doing qigong at the shelter after I come to work, because a lot of people know that's been in the shelter before that when you're in the shelter, you cannot be there all day unless there's some medical issues. I guess the reason why you could be there all day, or if you worked at night and you had to sleep all day, then there would be some type of circumstances that was understood, right? But if those wasn't there, you had to get up every day, and after breakfast you had to leave and be gone, and you couldn't come back until a certain time. I was there for about 7.5 weeks. I didn't even have a lot of money when I left, but when I left, I ended up going to a hotel. And it wasn't like even the best hotel. I got bit by bed bugs, and that was really bad. It was two other guys that I had went to the hotel with, and we was all anteing up on that room every week. Two of us was able to sleep in the bed, and one guy was sleeping on the floor. Like, I'm talking about really, really, like, I'm talking about really sacrificing and just going through that moment and thriving and striving. And then it was three of us, then it became two of us. And then from there, I end up being able to get a job that I didn't see coming, right? I was working with a temp service, and the job that they gave me was not really paying me that much. I was probably making like $250 a week, like literally. It was better than nothing, right? But it wasn't sufficient enough, but it allowed me to take care of myself at that time. And so, because I never gave up, I was grateful. I was appreciative, even though it was hard. I got bit by bed bugs. One of the homies ended up leaving to go back to his home state because of how difficult it was, and that became harder for me and the other homie that was still paying for that room. And then that ended up becoming me getting a job where I was making $1,000 a week. And I was just so happy that I was able to go. I was literally I went from 250 a week to 1,000 a week. And from that point forward, there was really no looking back. Like, when I say no looking back, I'm talking about over the past 10 years, life has changed so much for me, right? But where I'm at right now, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, the money that I'm making. Very grateful for the opportunity to be able to have a situation where I can take care of myself and my family and things of that nature, right? It's time for me to go to the next level, and this is that next level. This is me doing what I've been wanting to do with my life ever since I was a kid, and that's help people. I have a real passion in my heart to help people because of all of the things that I grew up going through, all of the decisions that I made for myself that put me in some of the worst scenarios that I could put myself in, and still coming out a winner. Still coming out of that a winner. And if it wasn't for my faith in God and my faith that me having a situation and scenario that came into my life that kept giving me the opportunity to prove myself, and I'm not complaining, I'm not whining, and I'm grateful and I'm doing the work, right? Life just keep on changing. And so now My whole prayer is to be able to help as many people that has been in the same situations as me, people that haven't been in the same situation as me, right? And I can inspire you all to be able to be better versions of yourself, no matter where y'all at in y'all walks of life, because everybody can use some education, everybody can be motivated, and everybody can inspire each other. And so that's what my job is, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And I will continue doing this groundwork until I've been able to do as much for people that I can. And I will not stop. And so I'm telling y'all to not stop, right? To never give up, right? I'm telling y'all to do the best that y'all can, right? To do the best that y'all can. And as soon as y'all meet proficiency at the level that y'all at, y'all will go to the next level. And I heard this, right? That once you get to the top of one mountain, that's the bottom of the next mountain. So keep on climbing, right? Keep on going up. Keep on proving yourself. Keep on being better at whatever it is that you want to get better at. And make whatever it is number one, and keep on going until there's no stopping. All right? And I know that y'all can do it. So let's do this together. And if you love what I'm talking about, if you enjoy the topics, if I'm educating, if I'm motivating, if I'm inspiring you to be great, please like and subscribe. Please share my content. And please check out these videos that's coming up next. And so y'all can keep on being in tune, right? All right? So I want to say peace and blessings.